Well, this weekend, as we change the clocks for daylight saving times, we know nights are getting longer, and our next guest wants you to stay vigilant.
That's right. Valerie of VersaDefense is a veteran and even fought Somali pirates during her time in service. But now she teaches us in the community the best safety tips and tricks. Welcome back, friend.
Yes. Thank you for having me, ladies.
Happy to have you here. Okay, so let's jump right into it. When, it's dark outside, even longer, what do we need to know? Why do we need to stay so vigilant?
Wintertime is the time that we're always gathering with family, with friends, and we're in this really great, happy spirit, as we should be. It's wonderful. There's Christmas coming up, Thanksgiving. We should be joyous in this season, but we forget, we kind of let our guard down, especially at nighttime. That's when people become a little bit more desperate. They're a little bit more, they can hide in the dark. So spooky things kind of hide in the dark. We just had Halloween yesterday, and so we want to be vigilant and make sure that we are aware of our surroundings. We are taking different precautions, using things like alarms, and then just making different small habit changes to make sure that we're safe and we end up with all of our people safe and sound at the end of the day. That's what we want.
Remain vigilant. It helps to carry some safety tools.
Yeah,
I
we have
you
some
brought
cool
in
tools.
quite a few today.
Yeah,
Walk
absolutely.
us through what you have here and what they do.
Yeah, one of the best things that I love doing for this fall season is going on hikes, especially if you're walking your dogs at nighttime. One of the big things you worry about is not necessarily someone attacking you, but maybe more of a rabid animal. Before they go into hibernation, they're going to be a little bit more out, especially if you have smaller dogs. Things like a tactical flashlight is really great because it's super bright, but you can also, this one also has a fun strobe feature on it. So it helps to temporarily disable a person when they look at it. So it's a great tool to use. It also has a bezel on the end of it, which hurts really bad when you hit somebody or an animal to deter them. You also can walk around with, this is a portable taser.
It's got a light on it too.
It is a light. It has a flashlight. So if you're going on hikes and you want to just, especially if you're, collecting leaves, doing on those marshmallow hikes they have around here in Nashville, this is really great for animals. It's a light, but you also taste something. It's pretty powerful.
Do you have to be touching someone for it to work?
You do. And so that's why it's great with animals, because you don't know if an animal can be rabid, and it will really stop them in their tracks.
Okay.
So, and then a knife is also great if you are going on hikes. You can cut through branches or whatever else you need to defend yourself.
Okay, so like you said, holiday season is upon us. It's November. You say we need to be aware when we're shopping. What does that mean?
When we're going shopping, our hands are usually really full. If you have kids like I do, you're wandering around making sure that they're safe. But keeping an eye on your surroundings, making sure you're going with a list. Go during the daytime if you can, and make sure that you know where your exits are during the store. And, if you find someone kind of walking around with you in a store, just kind of, I don't want to say approach them, but, be more confident in yourself to look in the eye and say, hey, can I help you? Is there something that you need? Why are you following me around the store? And if you're not so sure of yourself that you can do that, go up to one of the managers in the store, ask for assistance. People are there to help you, and they want to make sure you're having a great shopping experience, but you're also being able to just live peacefully, worry-free throughout your season here.
Yeah, nice advice. What about going to big events? There's a lot of those during the holidays. We're talking parades, there's big concerts, there's big gatherings. Yeah. What do you advise for protecting ourselves in those kind of situations?
So a lot of those events, especially here in Nashville, you're not going to be able to carry any of these weapons on board. You're going to be searched. So just something to be mindful, especially that they do have security on there. They are really well trained at their job, so please utilize them first and foremost. But second, know where your exits are. Know where you came into an establishment, especially I think they do that big ice skating rink, and that's always super fun. But know where your exits are, know how you got in, how you got out. If there's something was to happen, how can you escape? One of the things I give advice is if you're going with children, take a family photo when you start your event, because some kids might get lost in the crowd. You never know. Things can happen in seconds. So if you take a quick family photos, you have a really recent photograph of your child to make sure that you can identify them if they get lost in the crowd of exactly what they're wearing. Because in a situation like that, you might lose, forget some details that it would be really helpful to make sure that you're doing that and staying warm and keeping a plan like, hey, if we get lost, we're going to meet at this point.
Oh, very good.
We're going to leave at this time. Here's our phone number. Any kind of way that they can identify themselves that we can get a plan if they get lost.
I've heard that parking lots are one of the biggest places where crimes are committed. And is it because we're looking at our phone? Is that even true?
Sometimes, for me, when I go into parking lots, the thing I tell people is that park where it's well lit, if you can. and also park by where the elevators are. They're usually by the stairs, but you want to be able to get from your vehicle to the elevator, but also backing up into a spot if you're legally allowed to. Franklin doesn't like us to back up in some spots, but if you can back up, because when you're going to your car, looking outward when you're entering your car and then also locking it immediately, it's helpful, as opposed to going in your car with your back towards the open, alleyway of where your cars are driving through. It's a simple habit to just back into a space. That way nothing is behind me, nothing can come in and carjack me or assault me while I'm trying to get into my vehicle.
Great advice.
It's a simple thing.
Yeah, it really is. And I know you have classes where we can learn some of this advice. Tell us more about what you offer.
Yeah, so right now we're moving our classes from in-person to virtual. So if you're interested in doing some virtual small classes, we have different topics, whether that is home safety, personal safety, shopping safety, dating safety, we've added in there. Just learning to small habit changes that you can add into your life right now that'll make a huge difference. So you can visit that on our website and check that out.
I know you were really impacted by that story of the woman that tragically on the Greenway that happened a couple weeks ago. Is there anything that you would say that the most basic thing that we can do when we're going out at night that we can do outside of, carrying a flashlight? Is there, speak loudly? What is it?
The biggest and best weapon anyone has is utilizing your voice. And I know that she was calling for help, but also planning ahead and trusting your intuition. And if your intuition says this doesn't feel right to me, get out. Trust that intuition. Don't question it. We as women tend to suppress our intuition a lot of the times and question ourselves. And if you can just stay true to yourself and say, this doesn't feel good. My neutral zone doesn't feel good. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel safe. Something feels off. Trust that, and then get yourself, you can either avoid it or escape it. Those are the best two things that you can do in this situation. And your voice is amazingly the most powerful thing you can do. So
thank you for that. Appreciate it. Everyone, take the class. Protect yourself and stay safe. Visit versadefense.com.